Slovenia has been a meeting area of the Slavic, Germanic, Romance, and Uralic linguistic and cultural regions, which makes it the most complex meeting point of languages in Europe. The official and national language of Slovenia is Slovene, which is spoken by a large majority of the population. It is also known, in English, as Slovenian. Two minority languages, namely Hungarian and Italian, are recognized as co-official languages and accordingly protected in the residential municipalities. Other significant languages are Croatian and its variants and Serbian, spoken by most immigrants from former Yugoslavia and their descendants. Slovenia is ranked among the top European countries regarding the knowledge of foreign languages. The most often taught foreign languages are English and German, followed by Italian, French, and Spanish. The population of Slovenia has become more diverse in regard to its language through recent decades, but is still relatively homogeneous. Slovene was, in 2002, the first language of 87.8% of the inhabitants. It was followed by Croatian, Serbian and so-called Serbo-Croatian, Italian and Hungarian language protected by the Constitution of Slovenia had lower numbers of native speakers. Slovene. In its Article 11, the Constitution of Slovenia stipulates that Slovene is to be the sole official and national language throughout the country. The Public Use of the Slovene Language Act of 2004 further defines the legal status of Slovenia, by mandating that national and local authorities are compelled to use it in communication and legislation. As a national language, it is used on the obverse side of Slovenian euro coins, in Slovenian national anthem, by the Slovenian president, and uniquely represents Slovene culture on the international stage. Television and radio broadcasts, newspapers, commercials, user manuals, and other printed or broadcast material must be in Slovene. Usage of material in another language is permitted, if it is accordingly subtitled, dubbed or translated. Publishing of broadcasting untranslated material, as well as selling goods without instructions and declaration in Slovene, is punishable and banned by law. Also, names of corporations and trademarks registered in Slovenia must be in Slovene. However, they may be used along with the translated name in another language if it's aimed at foreign markets. Slovene is the language of instruction at all levels of schooling, from primary to tertiary education. There is an international high school in Ljubljana with English as the language of instruction, but it admits only students from foreign diplomats and Slovenes who had been schooled abroad for several years. Undergraduate courses are run in Slovene. Therefore, applicants from foreign countries must prove an adequate level of knowledge of Slovene to be eligible to enroll. Graduate courses for foreign exchange students are offered in English as well. The Center for Slovene as a Second Foreign Language encourages the learning of Slovene as foreign language, offers different courses in Slovenia, and grants certificates of language proficiency. One may sit for the Slovene language exam at 3 levels: basic, intermediate and advanced. After having passed the exam, the applicant receives the Certificate of Knowledge of the Slovene language, issued by the Faculty of Arts of University of Ljubljana, which is valid throughout the European Union, and makes the holder eligible to apply to any school or university in Slovenia. With the accession of Slovenia to the European Union on May 1, 2004, Slovene became an official language of the European Union, requiring that all acts and directives be translated into Slovene. Additionally, Slovenian citizens may write to any EU institution in Slovene and expect a response in the same language. Dialects. Slovene is divided into 7 regional dialectal groups, further subdivided into local dialects. Mutual comprehension between certain dialects is limited. Prekmurje Slovene. This is the only Slovene dialect that has ever been attempted to be declared an official language in the Prekmurje region. It has a limited standardized written form, has been used in the liturgy, and has been used in modern literature, music, television and film. In 2012, a proposal to attribute it an ISO 639-3 language code was rejected with the rationale that Prekmurje is a dialect of Slovene, languages of the minorities and ex-Yugoslav languages. Italian is officially recognized as the mother tongue of the protected Italian minority and co-official language in Slovenian Istria near the Slovenian-Italian border and at the Slovenian coastline. Public usage of Italian is permitted and protected by minority protection laws. Members of the Italian minority are entitled to primary and secondary education in the native language, as well as to radio and television programs in Italian, and communicating in Italian with the authorities. Italian is co-official with Slovene in 25 settlements in 4 municipalities: Municipality of Ankaran, Itol, Ankarano, Municipality of Izola Dobrava, Itol, Dobrava Preso, Isola Izola, Itol, Isola Jagodaj, Itol, Valeja, Urban Municipality of Kopabarazoni, Itol, Barisoni Bertoki, Itol, Bertoci Bos Amarin, Itol, Bosmarin Saraj, Itol, Sareha Vatini, Itol, Kravatini Campel, Itol, Campel Columban, Itol, Columbano Copa, Itol, Capodistria Prade, Itol, Prade Premanjan, Itol, Premanzano Spodnisko Fia, Itol, the Valma and Solara, Itol, Solara Skaukjin, Itol, San Canziano, Municipality of Piran Dragonia, Itol, Dragoni Lucia, Itol, Lucia Parikag, Itol, Perezago Piran, Itol, Pirano Portoros, Itol, Portrasica, Itol, Cezasikavlia, Itol, Siciel Strunjan, Itol, Strunano. Hungarian is officially recognized as the mother tongue of protected Hungarian minority in Prekmurje region near the Slovenian-Hungarian border. Public usage of Hungarian is permitted and protected by minority protection laws. Members of Hungarian minority are entitled to primary and secondary education in the native language, as well to radio and occasional television broadcast in Hungarian, and to communicating in Hungarian with the authorities. Hungarian is co-official with Slovene in 30 settlements in 5 municipalities: Municipality of Dobrovnik Hung, Dobronak Zitkovci Hung, Zsitkok, Municipality of Hodos Hung, Rehodos Krelovnik Hung, Kapornak, Municipality of Lendava Banuta Hung, Banuta Senchaba Hung, Sont Dolgavast Hung, Hosufalu Dolgavaski Goris Hung, Hosufalu Hagi Dolina Prelendavi Hung, Veljari Falu Dolgi Lakos Hung, Solakos Gabaya Hung, Jayatyanas Genterovci Hung, Gonte Haza Gonji Lakos Hung, Felsalakos Kamuvci Hung, Kamahaza Kapka Hung, Kapkakot Hung, Kotlendava Hung, Lendvalendovski Goris Hung, Lendvaji Mostya Hung, Hidve Akutji Petasovci Hung, Pichazapins Hung, Pins Marov Hung, Pinsa Major Radmozanchi Hung, Radamostrimlini Hung, Hamas Malom. Municipality of Moravsky Toplas Sikekvast Hung, Sisekefamot Varjevchi Hung, Sexis and Laszlo Pordsanchi Hung, Kisfalu Prosenjakovchi Hung, Partis Falvasradishcha Hung, Shadaheli, Municipality of Silovsky Domanjsevchi Hung, Domonkosva, South Slavic languages and Albanian. A significant number of Slovenian population speak a variant of Croatian and Serbian as the native language. These are mostly immigrants who moved to Slovenia from other former Yugoslav republics from the 1960s to the late 1980s, and their descendants. 0.4% of the Slovenian population declared themselves as native speakers of Albanian and 0.2% as native speakers of Macedonian in 2002. There is a small Croatian-speaking community in White Carniola, whose existence predates Yugoslavia. In 4 villages, people speak the Eastern Herzegovinian dialect, with a strong influence of Slovene. People living there are mainly Serbian Orthodox and descendants of Serbian Uskoks, guerrilla warriors against Ottoman invasions. Romani, spoken in 2002 as the native language by 0.2% of people, is a legally protected language in Slovenia. These people mainly belong to the geographically dispersed and marginalized Roma community. German and Bavarian dialects have been autochthonous since present-day Slovenia came under the rule of Bavaria in the 8th century, whereas many immigrants from German-speaking areas adopted Slovene over the centuries. Others retained the language. Until the 20th century, the most numerous German-speaking communities were found in the urban centers of Lower Styria, in the Goci county in southern Slovenia, and in the villages around a pace along the Mura River. According to the last Austrian census of 1910, around 9% of the population of present-day Slovenia spoke German as their native tongue. Towns with a German-speaking majority included Maribor, Celje, Ptuj, Kočevje, Slovenj Gradec, Slovenska Bistrica, Ormož, Dravograd, and some other smaller towns. After World War I, the number of German speakers dropped significantly. Most of the towns were Slovenized, and German remained the majority language only in the Goci county and around a pace. According to the last pre-World War II Yugoslav census, German speakers amounted to 2.5% of the overall population. Former German bilingual speakers had switched to Slovene, the official language. During World War II, ethnic Germans were resettled from areas occupied by Italy into the German-occupied zone. After the war, the great majority of the remaining Germans had to leave the country. In the census of 2002, just 1,628 persons declared German as the mother tongue. Almost everyone today born in Slovenia knows Slovene because people learn obligatory Slovene in school, but many at home speak other languages as well. The number of people fluent in German is unknown. German-speaking women around Maribor who are citizens of Slovenia have organized in the association Kulturno Društvo Nemsko Govorci Mostovi, Maribor. Gotchirish Granish is a Bavarian dialect of the German language and has been spoken in the Goci county around Kočevje since 1330. For over 600 years, it was the predominant oral language of the Gotchiers in that area, whereas Standard German was the written language. Most Gottschee Germans were resettled by the German occupation forces in 1941 during World War II. Only a few hundred Gotchiers remained, most of them supporting the partisan movement. After the war, Gotchirish was forbidden. Today there are only a few speakers left, most of them in Mošnitsi Valley between Kosevsky Poljan and Kremosnice. Others today mainly know Standard German. Recognition Gotchirish and German, though autochthonous to Slovenia, have no official status and are not protected by law. Czechoslovak, which used to be the 4th largest minority language in Slovenia prior to World War II, is now the native languages of a few hundred Slovenian residents. Foreign languages. Historically, German was the lingua franca of Central European space and was perceived as the language of commerce, science and literature in Slovenia. Consequently, German used to be the first foreign language taught in schools. With the formation of Yugoslavia, so-called Serbo-Croatian became the language of federal authorities and the first foreign language taught in school. But also, Slovenes pick up Croatian more easily than other foreign languages due to its relative similarity to Slovene. Nowadays, English has superseded it and is taught as the first foreign language throughout the country from preschool onwards. German has, however, retained its strong position as an important language and is the most common second foreign language in high schools. According to the EU, Slovenia has the highest competence in German of any non-Germanic country, with only Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Denmark being higher. Other second foreign languages are Italian, Spanish, French and Hungarian. Among the 5 subjects in the Slovenian finishing exam, 1 foreign language, most commonly English, is compulsory. As a consequence of different foreign languages having been taught at different times, there is no prevailing foreign language knowledge in Slovenia. Younger generations know English and Croatian well enough to communicate, whereas elder generations speak Croatian better. There are also regional differences, especially among the knowledge of a second foreign language, with German being more frequently taught and used in Styria region, whereas residents of the littoral region have better familiarity with Italian.